move back to our slides. So our next lesson is use data factory pipelines in Microsoft Fabric. So as we know that there are two primary high level features data factory implements. One is data flows and other one is data pipeline. And if we talk about data pipeline, so it enables you to leverage the rich out of the box data orchestration capabilities to compose flexible data workflows that meet your enterprise needs. We can learn more about their capabilities. Okay. And as we know that a pipeline in Microsoft Fabric as well, it encapsulates a sequence of activities that perform data movement and processing task. You can use a pipeline to define data transfer and transformation activities and orchestrate these activities through control flow activities that manage branching, looping, and other typical processing logic. So the graphical pipeline canvas, as you can see on screen in the Microsoft in the Fabric user interface, it enables you to build complex pipeline with minimal or no coding. Okay. Now we have certain core pipeline concepts. So first one is activities. So what are activities? Activities are basically executable tasks in a pipeline. You can define a flow of activity by connecting them in a sequence, and the outcome of a particular activity, whether it's success, failure, or completion, it can be used to direct the flow of the next activity in the sequence. And there are two broad categories of activity in a pipeline. One is data transformation, other one is control flow. So data transformation activities, it encapsulate data transfer operations, including simple copy data activities, which extract the data from a source and then load it into the destination. And it could also include more complex data flow activities that encapsulate data flow Gen 2, okay, that apply transformation to the data as it is transferred. Then we have control flow activity. So it we can use it to implement loops, conditional branching, or manage variable and parameter values. Okay. Then we have parameters. Okay. And we also have pipeline runs. Okay. So, when we talk about the copy data activity, so it is one of the most common uses of a data pipeline, and many pipeline consist of a single copy data activity that is used to ingest data from an external source into a lakehouse, a file or table. So, firstly, we use the copy data tool. So when we add a copy data activity to our pipeline, a graphical tool takes you through the steps required to configure the data source and destination for the copy operation. And a wide range of source connections is supported, making it possible to ingest data from most common sources. Then copy data activity settings. So after we have added a copy data activity to our pipeline, we can select it in the pipeline canvas and edit its setting in the pane underneath. Okay, we can use the copy data activity when we need to copy data directly between a supported source and destination without applying any transformations, or when you want to import the raw data and apply transformations in later pipeline activities. If you need to apply transformation to data as it's ingested or merge data from multiple sources, consider using a data flow activity to run a data flow gen 2. You can use the Power Query user interface to define a data flow that include multiple transformation steps and include it in a pipeline. Then there are many common pipeline scenarios for which Microsoft Fabric include predefined pipeline templates that we can use and customize as required. And to create a pipeline based on a template, we select the choose a task to start tile in a new pipeline. Okay, now run and monitor the pipeline. So when we have completed a pipeline, we can use the validate option to check that its configuration is valid and then either run it interactively or specify a schedule. So the run button will manually trigger a data pipeline run. Okay. And when you schedule a pipeline run, you can choose the frequency that your pipeline runs. You can select a schedule found in the top banner of the home tab to view your options. Okay. And by default, your data pipeline won't be set on a schedule. So we have to schedule it manually. And when you view a pipeline run history, okay, so from the workspace page you can select the run start value to see the details of an individual run, including the options to view the individual execution time for each activity as Gantt chart. Okay. So here we have come to an end of this topic as well. All right, so we will be moving ahead with the demonstration, and this is the last topic of today's session as well. All right, so let me share the screen of my Microsoft Fabric portal. Okay, so now we are on the homepage of Microsoft Fabric. And in this lab, we will learn how to ingest data with a pipeline in Microsoft Fabric. So again, we will create a workspace inside Synapse Data Engineering. So from the workspace menu bar on the left hand side, we will create a new workspace. Okay, so workspace has been created and so far it is empty. All right, so now we will create a lake house. For that, we will go on the home page of Synapse Data Engineering. And from here, we will create a lake house of our wish. Okay, so new lake house has been created with no tables or files. So in the files, we will create a new subfolder. and we will create a subfolder with name new underscore data. Okay, so we can see the subfolder has been created. Now we will create a pipeline. Okay, so now from the home page of our lakehouse only, we can see new data pipeline option. So we will click on it and we will name it as ingest sales data. Okay, so now from choose the data source page, we will scroll down and in the category, we will look for generic protocol and then HTTP. And then we will click on next. So here we will create a new connection and we will enter some of the settings for the connection to our data source. So here I'll be copying a link. So I have copied the link and create new connection. Yes. And new name as new connection only. All right. And in authentication kind, we will select basic. Now we will click on next. Okay, so relative URL, connect to data source, relative URL blank, request method get, additional header blank, and rest of the things we will leave as it is. Now connect to data source. So here in the file format, we will select a delimited text and column delimiter as comma, or we can select comma only, and then row delimiter. So we will select here line feet. Okay, select first row is header, yes, and then next. Okay, so now we can choose the data destination. Okay, so here we will be selecting the existing lakehouse and then we'll select next. Okay, so in root folder, we will select files. Then in folder path, we will give the name of our folder, new data. Okay. All right, we have selected the folder path and now I'll change the file name as sales.csv. All right, copy behavior, none. And then I will click on next. So here in connect to destination data destination, in the file format, delimited text, column delimiter as it is, and in row delimiter, we will select line feet, add header to file, yes, and next. So here on the copy summary, we will just review all the settings here. Okay. And then we can select save and run. So as we can see, a new copy data activity is created as shown here. Okay. And now we can monitor its status in output pane that it is succeeded. Okay, and now in the menu bar we will select the lake house. Okay, new data. Let me just refresh it. And I can say sales.csv file has been copied. Now we will create a notebook. So on the home page only, we have open notebook option. So from here, I will select new notebook. Okay, so here I will provide some lines of code. All right. Okay, let me run. And also I will change the cell type to the toggle parameter cell. So basically here we are declaring a parameter. So this cell will treat the variable that we have declared as parameter when we run this notebook from a pipeline. All right. And now we'll use new code cell. And here also I will paste some lines of code. Okay, so this code basically it loads the data from the sales.csv file that has that was ingested by copy data activity, and it will also apply some transformation logic, and then it will save the transformed data as a table. Okay, so let me see if all the lines has been copied properly. Yes, we are filtering. First, we are reading the data. Then we are adding, doing some transformations by adding month and year column. Then we are deriving the first name and last name columns. Then we are filtering and reordering the columns, and then we are loading the data into the tables. So now let's run all. Okay, so it's still running. Okay, it's okay. So command executed. Now we'll refresh the table. And here we can see a sales table. Okay, let's just click on it to preview its data. Okay, so we can see various columns of the sales table. All right. Now we will modify the pipeline. So because we have implemented a notebook to transform the data and we load it into a table. Okay, now we can incorporate this notebook into a pipeline to create a reusable ETL process. So again in the hub menu bar, okay, we will select the pipeline that we have created. Okay, so here is my pipeline, ingest sales data. And on the activities tab of it, in more activities, we can select delete data activity. And then we can put this on the left of the copy data activity. So, all right. So here I will connect the data activity to the left, and then I will connect it that on its completion, it should output the connect on completion, it output to the copy data activity. Okay. Now we will select the delete data activity and we just set some of its properties. So in the name, we can put delete old files. Okay. In source, we'll select the workspace and our lakehouse name. And then we'll provide the file path as new data. We'll select the wildcard file path here. And here in the directory, I will put new data. Okay, in wildcard file name, I will put asterisk.csv and recursively should be selected. Then in login setting, we will uncheck this enable logging. All right. So now in the here in the pipeline designer from the activity tab, we will select the notebook and it will be added uh, on our designer. Okay, so now we will select the copy data activity and basically we'll put it here. So now I will select the copy data activity and I will connect it on its completion with the notebook. Its output to the notebook. All right. Now I will select the notebook activity and I do some changes in the properties. So in general name, I will put it as load sales notebook. Okay, in settings, in notebook, I'll put and in base parameter, I will put table underscore name and type, I will select string and in value, I will select new underscore sales. Okay, so here table name parameter will be passed to the notebook and it will override the default value assigned to the table name variable which was there in the parameter cell. So now from the home page, I will click on save icon to save the pipeline. And then I will run it. Okay. In the meantime, we'll click on the lakehouse. Okay, it's still in progress. So once uh, the status changes into succeeded, then we will be able to see a new underscore sales table in the Explorer pane of our lakehouse. See, in our tables, we can see a new table which is new underscore sales. So in this exercise, we implemented a data ingestion solution that uses a pipeline to copy data to our lakehouse from an external data. Then we use the Spark notebook that transformed our data and then loaded it into a table. So this is it with this lab. So we are done with today's session. Let's recap what we have done so far in our today's session. Okay, so today we have covered various topics, like we have covered the end-to-end analytics solution by Microsoft Fabric, what capabilities, roles, and responsibilities it offers. Then we understand the data teams and roles that use Fabric. We also understood about the admin part of Microsoft Fabric, what all tools and portals are available there. Then we have learned about ingesting the data inside Microsoft Fabric, and for that we went through the demonstration of the labs, in which we covered the ingestion of data using Dataflow Gen 2 capabilities. And we learned about ingesting external data to Fabric Lakehouse, using the Spark, and Microsoft Fabric notebooks. We have also learned about the pipeline capabilities in Microsoft Fabric. We learned about adding copy data activity in a pipeline and how to create a pipeline based on the predefined templates, how to run and monitor the pipelines. Okay, and then this was all about what we have learned in today's session. And for your further reference, we have Microsoft has provided some link through which you can learn more about the topics that we have learned today. All right. So this is it for today, and we will be meeting in our next session. See you in the next session. Thank you.